into it. All right, welcome to another episode of Sudden Change Pod. Got your boy Beans here. We got Jay here. How you feeling this week?
Uh, uh, Falcons lost, Kings lost, high
Forgot
school
about
team
that.
won, so I'll take it. You got a fantasy dub, so 2 for 2 ain't bad.
Yeah, we missed a week. A lot has happened, fantasy wise in that time. I figured we could start backwards this week. We could talk about the fantasy league a little bit, and then we'll get into league stuff.
But
So whoever listening who don't care about the fantasy league, fast forward to the regular
yeah,
NFL stuff. So deadline is approaching this week. What do you expect? Do you expect to be a lot of trades happening, or you expect people to stand kind of pat?
a little bit of both. A lot of draft picks are being thrown around. A lot of people not trying to really mortgage their future like that. Um, Myself included. Like I gave away a fourth already, so I ain't really looking to add any more draft. Like I'm not trying to go into the draft already. Like with a just thinking like, damn, what I got to do as far as draft position. So I'm not even trying to do that. So um, a lot of movement because everyone still has a shot. So I'm expecting
Technically,
technically. Honestly, what are you right now? What are you 4-6?
4 and 6.
But that's like it's a game out though. Granted with points and stuff, but like you're a
Yeah,
game out. A two game win streak puts you it could put you in like fourth. Like so
yeah. We'll see.
everyone's still alive, like and everyone's trying to dread that infamous last place. So you're just trying to do enough to stay out of there
Tell
and
me
do enough
about
to
it.
compete. Yeah. So
Um,
now I'm definitely expecting at least two one or two more trades.
Yeah, I could definitely see it happen. I need to do something because my team, I don't know what happened. We spiraled at some point and we never got back to where we need to be. Um, so we have seen, I think, 2 trades over the past 2 weeks since we recorded last. Talk about that in a second. But in that time, we've also had to change the trade process. So just tell the people what it was before and why we had to switch and what is it going to look like in the future, do you think?
The trade process going into this season was um, commissioner doesn't have a vote, so whichever commissioner the trade was not involving or whoever got the trade, that one would be out, and the two people involved in the trade would be out of the trade. So everyone would have a vote, which I thought was fine. Like
Yeah.
you get majority, like it'll work. Well, guys stop acting like all of a sudden like they're not on the app and they don't see the trades. So a lot of trades were happening and we weren't getting full participation for voting. So we had to do something like on the fly. So now it's basically using a third party from one of the commissioners, and then we just going with it with that. Like they agree to the trade. Someone that's like not biased, doesn't have not playing that guy or something. But it makes it tough that way. Like draft trades are always a sensitive topic in fantasy leagues because no one that's in competition or like that's competing for like to be in it in the in the running as a contender wants to see a team get better. So like they're gonna find a way like, nah, well he's packing up for more next year. But, like Casey's technically not packing up for next year now. Like so it's always that that bias and always that opinionated version of the vote. So it makes it tough.
Yeah, and just speaking on Casey, I think people got frustrated with his trades, like, oh, he's looking forward to next year already, but not realizing he had guys coming back. He had C-Mac coming back. He had Nico coming back. He can afford to give up a little bit to get picks. So now he's good for this year and for next year.
Yeah. That's the one thing he had to basically rock with, like bank on you guys coming back and get you into position and then mortgage in next year. So if we do our job, like, he's already looking at next year, but cheese left him out there. Cheese gave him a little life,
I was so
last
mad,
point.
bro. I needed
Yeah,
that. I needed that.
yeah, I think we all did. Because honestly, like if he would have lost that, like that just inches closer to how many more games, where you can't finish in last. But Casey's a competitor. Like he ain't gonna just call the dogs off. Like he'll do a little bit of both. Like he's done. Like
Yeah.
he'll let me get something for next year, but let me leave a little hope for. And now you see how he's talking now. He's got a little. He's got a little life. So a little bit
Yeah.
more chatter from him.
Yeah. So seeing that we had to make a mid-season trade processing switch, what do you think we're gonna have to do for next year if people are not gonna participate? And we don't necessarily want it to be like a committee, but I don't know what the other choices are.
Honestly, I just like I was talking to you a little bit about like a third party like type officer thing, but it's something I really gotta like. I'm gonna just look through leagues and online and see what people do for trades. Because everything has been smooth, but the trading process because
Yeah.
someone's gonna feel like you're getting robbed, and then you may not be getting robbed. So a lot of opinionated guesses, but I'm gonna definitely take a hard look in off season and we'll see what we come up with as far as just just something that's just gonna be smooth and not guys just running straight to the veto.
Yeah, so just to go through the trades, last week, I think it was last week before this, I traded James Conner and a sixth for DeAndre Hopkins and a ninth, I want to say, maybe a tenth, a
I
ninth, I
think
want to
so.
say.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that trade? What do you think when you saw it come through?
I liked it. Connor actually does a lot of work, but I get you. I think you want a receiver because you got. I know
Yeah,
you're not getting much. You're
and
not
Mike
getting
Evans
much
still
from your
injured
guys
too.
right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not getting much production from there. So I get the move. Like you got to do what is going to fill that room up because you can't play a running back in the wide receiver spot right now. So and I think the rookie being in a flex kind of like makes you have to maneuver pieces. Like
yeah, yeah,
that one spot's gone where that could have been someone else. So I had no problem with it. Like most of the trades, like I've seen, like they've been good because I've seen what like teams look like and what you're trying to accomplish with that team. And I think that's the forgetting part. Like you're just so big on names. It's like, well, nah, he actually does need a receiver because if Tay ain't gonna put out, and then if Mike Evans is, who knows what that hamstring is gonna be like when he comes back. Like, what are your options? Like D Hop looked good in that game, so you
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
take a chance.
Yeah, and going back to Casey, I think over time people will realize how smart he is with how he works things out. Because we had that deal in place before, but he said, give me another week, see what D Hop does. D Hop goes for 20 plus. Now the price goes up a little bit, and I don't have any leverage because I need it. So,
Yeah,
everybody does things the way they do, but working with Casey, I like it because he's fair compared to some of the other guys that we have to deal with in the league. But he's also really smart. So
because they're so worried about getting got. Like I'm just like, all right, well, what are you looking for? Like I'm not trying to get you, but I'm like,
right.
I'm not about to give you talent. You're not gonna give me talent. Like I'm gonna just like certain names I know that's off limits. So
Yeah.
I gotta gut you somewhere. I'm not about to let you like you can't take my two guys and then like you gotta give up something. So
Yeah.
you know, guys just too worried about the ego's a little big. Guys too worried about getting got.
Yeah, it frustrated me yesterday when Jay Green said that I'm always trying to take advantage of people that somebody told him that and now he can see it. And I'm like, the only person that would have told you that is Cheese. And you can see Cheese ain't made a deal all year. So you
Yeah.
gotta think about who you listening to.
Also, you got to also think about who's talking. Like Jay Green's just anytime there's a trade, he's like, "Oh wow, good game." Like bro, what? Like Brees hasn't done much all year, but I have no running backs. So like
Yeah.
I was like, Debo and Shakir are doing way more than Andrews and Brees has done. Like I'm having to take a chance because I literally have my projected running back is like Mason, unless C Mac gets hurt, Mason's not going to get
Yeah.
the ball. So opinionated man. Just gotta take it
Yeah.
for a grain of
So
salt.
that was the other trade I was outlining there for people. You gave up Shakur and Debo
Debo,
for Andrews and Brees. And I get the initial shock value that people had just based off names. Brees and Andrews are bigger names. Debo's a big name, but just Brees being a number a round one pick, people are automatically gonna think, oh, you're giving up or you're getting too much. But if you actually look at the numbers are pretty fair and even. So I think people just get mad off the name sometimes.
Shakir has actually had a solid season.
Yeah.
He's missed the game, but he's been like one of Josh Allen's favorite targets. So he's been more consistent over the season than Debo. Like Debo's had a couple big scores, but like
Yeah. Injuries.
Debo, yeah, injuries like leaving games. Like Shakir missed one game, but Shakir is probably overall the most consistent out of the whole trade from Brees and Andrews. Like he's been
Yeah.
the most consistent. But you ain't gonna put his name up against those guys because of name value. But like as far as consistency, Shakir's I like it was hard. I was like, Shakir, like okay, like I see what you're doing, but like I'm taking your number one back because there's no way. Like he's been one of my most consistent flex players. So and you
Yeah.
haven't gotten nothing from him. So I tried to get Otten. He wasn't budging on Otten. I get it. And, KI is like number one guy since Mike's down and Godwin, but
Yeah,
I said that Andrews is cool too, so that was where we settled at.
yeah, it makes perfect sense. Just depends on who you're dealing with. I'm gonna go through the standings real quick. You found a way back to first, followed by John, who had a crazy week. Then Chance, Mark, Cheese, and Dub. That would be the sixth to make the playoff. It started today. Then you got Matt seventh, me eighth, Jay Green, and Coach Casey. Um, so it's not. I don't even really have to ask because you're pretty much a lock to make it. But where's your confidence level at right now with how your team looks moving into the final stretch of the season?
I'm not that confident because you know what? Like I literally saw my team like be at the top and lose two straight like right away. I'm just trying to, it's four games left. Like I'm just trying to stack W's and just clinch, and then I'll worry about the next part because my guys, like I got Tua and CJ. I haven't played CJ in about like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Mm.
I've been playing Tua. Um, and I play golf 1 week, so like I can't trust CJ. Um, I had the back issue, so I traded for Brees. So we'll see what happens. But the league is wide open, man. Like
Yeah,
if John's gonna be scoring like that, Check is like not far behind. Cheese is actually putting up point. He's got
quietly.
like yeah, Cheese is actually doing well, and Lamar's playing well. Um, yeah, and Los is like I don't know how he's doing it. Los is right in the thick of things. Like not even saying that his team, but like I didn't expect Herbert to be playing as well with that team.
Yeah,
So he's
nobody
getting a
did.
lot, but he's playing Kirk Cousins as well too. So um, yeah, man, it's wide open, honestly. Like I'm just happy I'm able to just get these W's right now. That's pretty much where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I think you should be pretty comfortable. Even if you lose a couple more, you'll be all right. Because everybody else below you is going to be playing each other, so it's still going to be losses there. Um, Me on the other end, I'm in a position where it's like trade deadline coming. Do I want to focus on try to make a run for playoffs, which is not that likely to be very honest, or do I
Yeah,
want to, start preparing for next season to get some picks off? It's tough. And, Jordan and I mean Jay Green and Casey been going back and forth about the whole lemonade thing. But for a couple of weeks now, I knew I was right there. I'm just quiet about it. I'm not trying to be
yeah.
the conversation.
You
My
can't talk
points
it. You
are
can't talk that. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
feel you.
my points are
That's why
crazy.
that Casey game meant so much because like, all right, you cool with Jay Green losing? Like it is what it is. Like long as he kept losing, and you had a
Yeah,
game up. But the fact that Casey now puts himself in a win with a game out with those points.
yeah,
Like, yeah, definitely. It happens fast, man. Like, it really does, especially with points. Like, I had a 2 game lead, and then I had a dud against you, and then like I got jumped in points by over like 100 points. Like, so it's been a 3 week stretch where I just had to find like get myself back into like contention with just like being number one, and then like with the points, I'm still like with John's last week. Like, we're all like chasing him right now.
yeah. He's the only person over 1,700.
Seventeen
Looks
hundred.
like. Yeah, he got
Yeah.
I didn't even look at it. He got 100 point lead over the next person, which looks like Cheese. Yeah,
And
he's
Cheese has
slowly.
never won. And Cheese has never won a high score a week. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
she's been consistent. But yeah, I just they Jay Green and Casey keep talking about injuries, but like I think my situation has been just as bad as theirs, just not directly. Like Reek had no quarterback for 5 weeks. Tay held out for 5 weeks. Mike Evans gonna be out for 4 to 5 weeks. It's like, where am I getting points from?
Yeah,
So
no, that's why I tell him like you ain't the only like yours are just season ending. Like your guys are like borderline. Like yo, are you gonna play or are you holding out?
right.
How long is your injury? Is it gonna re-aggravate? Like Tyreek can't even get the ball still. Like it's like
It's
yo, like what are you supposed to do? Like
Yeah, I don't know. This is a must win. I got to find a way to win this week. I'm like a 30 point underdog already going into the week. So
who you play?
we'll see.
Who you play?
Casey,
Yo, that's game of the week.
some
That's
major
game of the
implications. Major,
Yeah,
major
because
implications on that one.
honestly, you got a game up on Jay Green, right?
Yeah. But I think he plays Los, and Los is like a wild card. He could score 150, he could score 110. Who knows?
Yeah. So wait, standing. So Casey's what 2-8, 2-7?
No, he's three,
No,
3-7. They're
three
both
and
one
seven.
game under me. Yeah.
Oh, you're 4-6. Okay, him and Jay Green. Okay, Jay Green's
Yeah.
points is just crazy though. So
Yeah.
yeah, you are in a must win situation
It's a
because
must win. Yeah.
who does Casey play?
Who's Casey this week?
Yeah.
No, I play KC this week. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you played Casey. I mean Jay Green. Who did
I
Jay
think he
Green
plays
have?
Los. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that. Yeah. You're gonna be
Yeah.
scoreboard watching a little bit.
I sure am. I need a low scoring week from him. But yeah. Anyway, enough about my sorrow. Let's get into what happened in the NFL this week. Falcons lost, you said. Who they play? I forget.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Saints. What happened in that one?
Laid a dud, man. Like, I seen it coming. Fired the coach, so that energy with a new interim come in.
Different.
We didn't play well. We didn't score till I think the second quarter. Missed three field goals. One of them was blocked. We didn't get off the field. We didn't get the car. We let MVS score twice, like bombs. Like I'm just
That
like,
guy.
that's why I don't trust us because we still can't generate a pass rush. Um, Typical game, like we had a chance to really, put them away for the season. With the rest of the division pretty much in hand, we could have went to 7-3. So now, hey, we in a dogfight. We go to Broncos this week, but I wasn't overly pleased just with the effort. Like it was just laid a dud, man.
Yeah, those are games you got to win. And the Broncos aren't a pushover. The defense is good. You might be able to slow the
There we
offense
go.
down, but it's gonna be another tough one.
Yep.
You played them home or what?
Played them at Denver right before the bye,
Uh,
so we're on a bye the following week. So hopefully they can muster up something and then we can go into the bye with on a high note.
yeah, that makes it even tougher getting away from the dome out in the elements out in Denver. So good luck with that one. Packers were up, so excuse me, nothing to talk about there. Hopefully we go in and get a W this week. We've got the Bears who look like they're starting to look more like the
Imploding,
Bears. Yeah, so
imploding. Yeah.
that's we definitely need that. Who you have for dog of the week?
Jamar Chase, of course, man. That was honestly watching that, watching that. I wanted him to get 100 just to see. Like, I just wanted to
Yeah.
see what the app was going to do. Like, yo, 11, 264, three TDs, and he left some like. There was a couple plays that they probably could have had him on a few more. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to see him, go get the 100-point mark in fantasy. But yeah, he does the Ravens dirty. Majority of the time
Yeah.
they play.
Both times.
It was crazy. We all watched it in the chat. It was like, yo, like, is this happening? Like,
Yeah.
can't do nothing with him. So that was good to see though, especially if I'm not playing them. So
Yeah. That was if I was Dub, I would have already been on to the next week after
I I,
Thursday.
I feel bad for Dub. Dub would have beat the whole league if it wasn't for
Oh, really? I didn't even notice.
yeah, he dropped 160. No one else had 160 but John.
Yes,
I
that's
had
fantasy for you.
155. So yeah, he would have beat the whole league.
Yeah, Dub is reeling a little bit too. He's in six right now, right on that brink. After
Oh
Godwin
yeah.
went out, ETN not performing, he got
Worthy
his
not
own
doing
issues.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Worthy not doing much no more. Yeah.
So I was gonna ask this since you brought him up as the dog of the week. Are Burrow and Chase the best combo in the league right now?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, honestly, if you think about it, like this not a perennial quarterback that's up there that's better than Burrow that has a receiver that's doing what Chase is doing right now. So we definitely got to give them the nod. They're reminding me of Matt Ryan and Julio's prime, where like
Hmm.
y'all can do all the numbers you want, but you just can't get the wins right now. Like the
Yeah,
defense just couldn't hold up. You could get a 300-yard game, yeah, cool, but we still lost those games like Julio was getting 300.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was looking at. I think I got. I'm gonna look at it real quick. The numbers for the two games that they lost to the Ravens. Burrow had 820 yards and nine TDs, two losses. That's crazy.
That's
Uh,
crazy. And Chase had about how many yards? Probably like 400.
I didn't. It had to be at least I would say 400, but I only
Yeah.
saw the stats for Burrow. But got to find a way to win it. It'll be. I won't say easier because they're still putting up points. It got to be on the defense, but at
I
some
mean, it's
point,
special
hopefully,
teams too. Special
huh?
teams. They blew that first one on special teams. They missed the kick.
Oh
Lamar just
yeah,
went down. Yeah, so all three phases come into play. Like you could get 900, but like Lamar on the other side, if you don't put him away, them yards don't matter.
yeah. Are we gonna see your boy Timo Reese anytime soon? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't
Who?
even know how you pronounce his name.
Oh, bro, I don't know. I don't. He got hurt in practice, and it's been 3 weeks, and they don't know if he's gonna play this week. Like, what happened? Like,
Yes.
and he missed the
He,
first two games of the year.
that boy is unpredictable.
I remember your year, you had him, and you like played him, and then yeah, it was just it's something like and he's good. Like don't get, but he's just not available. I'm just like I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna play. Like I'm gonna see what happens today at practice. He got one day to be a DNP, and that's it. Like bro, like just sit there till you come get me when you ready. Like you let me know when
Yeah.
you ready. I'm not playing them games, man.
Yeah, he's very injury prone. The year I had him, they was saying he was healthy, and then they put him out there for one series, and then they was out for
But
the rest of the game.
he's not even getting hurt in games though. I'm just like, bro, like
Yeah,
what are you doing? Like first week of the year, oh yeah, practice all week, and then Friday it was yeah T limited. Okay, Saturday doubtful. Like bro, what happened? Like
yeah, he
I don't know,
different.
man. He could take my team to another level. When he was playing well, like I was on a streak.
Facts. Yeah, when
That's
he
why I had
comes
to trade for
back,
these dudes, yo.
yeah, if he's whenever he comes back healthy, him, Cup, AJ, you got one more. Who's the other one? You got a, a good four, I think, if I remember correctly.
I had Debo. I got rid of Debo, so
Oh,
now
Debo,
it's
that's you got rid of Debo. Yeah,
AJ Cup
yeah.
T Jameson Williams now because I got rid of two receivers.
Gotcha. Yeah. So dog of the week, I went with your boy. You still got Chuba, right? Who, Hubbard, you got you?
Yeah.
Yeah, 169 total yards, TD. He is the one consistent bright spot for that Panthers offense, and they got a good win. I had took the Giants to win that messed up the parlay, so that sucked. But he looked good. Um, so the question I was going to ask you about them, it kind of they have nice young players. Like, how bright can that future be if they can just get the right coaching, the right environment, something? They got Sanders, Leggett, Coker, Chuba,
Brooks
Brooks.
is
Like, they
coming.
got people on offense. The environment's just toxic.
I honestly don't know because I don't know like what do you know those backs for anyway? And then they just paid Hubbard, so it's like
Yeah,
what are you doing with Miles? Miles just got hurt. I think that you just gotta like fill the building with talent, and then coaches gotta just coach them up. Like you just gotta get talent in the building. I think having a good run game like that solidifies that. Now, hey, go get some receivers on the outside. Like Leggett is good, but like you need some speedsters too. Like you just traded Mingo,
yeah,
so draft come up like yo man, just just fill the building with talent, and then see what you got. You can always start with a good run game, though, and I think they got that going forward.
yes. I just hope that we don't see the young guys continue to suffer just because they don't have the right leadership there. Because they, like you
So,
said, they got talent. It's just a matter of getting the best out of that talent. Anything that surprised you? Surprise of the week.
Cardinals going to 6-4, and dogging the Jets like that. I wasn't so big on Kyler, and then like just their path for like what they're in first place.
Hmm.
Like they actually like routed them. Like it wasn't like what I mean. Like at one point I was like, yo, I was gonna pick up the Jets defense. I was like, because there's no way Kyler was gonna get to them. Like, man, I'm glad I did it. Like I'd have been embarrassed. I don't know what's good with the Jets. So like it's hand in hand surprise. Like Jets falling how they have, and then like the Cardinals spark to be in the first place right now.
Yeah, I definitely didn't predict that. I went and started Rodgers thinking that it would be a shootout, if anything, and they put up 6 points. Um, Shout out to Burke. I asked him what he thought I should do. He said take Rodgers, and that was a dud. So I'm blaming that one on him.
Yeah,
Um, but
I
that
wouldn't talk
was
to him for a while. Yeah, like don't even.
yeah, I just don't get it. The Jets, I can't even put my finger. They're bad across the board, and they're gonna be bad for a while because they put everything into the season, and the season is a wrap now. But yeah, I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse after watching Connor go crazy. He outscored D Hop in first quarter. So
Yeesh.
like, man, it's like I gave up consistency for a higher ceiling, but I don't know. Maybe I should have held on to him.
Yeah,
For my
yeah,
surprise, I went
that's
with
tough. That's tough.
yeah,
That's yeah,
it is what it is. But it's only one week.
yeah.
Tough defense that the Chiefs play the Broncos. That's a tough defense. So we'll see how next week looks. But for my surprise, I went with Jared Goff. Just 5 interceptions. Didn't look good at all, but somehow good teams find a way to win. I stopped
Facts.
watching that game like when it was like a 10-point lead for Houston. I thought it was over, and I turned it back on at the end, and the Lions came back and won. So I don't know. Good teams, they just find a way to win. And Houston, I don't know what to say about them.
I
We've been
don't
talking
know.
about them all year.
Yeah,
They finally came out and dominated early, and then they let it go again. No Nico. Hopefully he's back. Well, not hopefully he's not back this week. Hopefully he's back the week after.
for real.
we'll
Make
get to
that two
see.
weeks. Let
We'll get
that
to
thing heal
see.
up, man.
Yeah, just stay out as long as you need to. Um, but going into we can do power rankings. Before we get to that, do you think that the Lions are the best team right now? Before you give me a whole list, would you say the Lions are the best or no?
Yeah, they're the best team. Yeah.
Even after that performance?
Yeah, because you know what? Like on the road, like against contender of the AFC, like you're gonna have, every game ain't gonna be perfect, but like
Mm,
they shut them out in the second half. Like they didn't get a point. So
yeah.
um that's something, on the road, not giving up a point in the second half. And he still was throwing interceptions in the second half. So like, to rectify those turnovers and those not turning the points and then they come out with a W, man, and Zadarius didn't play yet. I think they are right now, at least.
Yeah. It's tough to argue against them. So what's the rest of your five look like?
Lions, Chiefs, I kept at two. Just they are a loss away from being five. Like they just keep winning though. So Chiefs, what I had Chiefs two. I went Ravens three,
Mm,
Bills four, and my fifth was Steelers. I went Steelers at five.
okay. So once again, we got the same five. I thought maybe
I
you
had
throw the
Philly.
Eagles. I was
I
gonna say
had
I
yeah.
thought you would throw Eagles in.
I thought about it. I didn't like how they finished against Jacksonville last week. They dominate the Cowboys, but who isn't these days?
Mm,
Um, yeah, I on the way Steelers like going to a Commanders team that's been hot. Going to the building and get a W. Russ has turned it up the offense a little bit.
yeah,
Now they get guys involved. Like Mike Williams is traded. He's getting acclimated. They're going to be a tough out because one thing Steelers always got, they bring defense with them.
yeah, for sure.
No matter what. So I'll say Eagles are probably 5A. 5B. With Steelers being 5A, but it's definitely close. But I think that's a solid five.
Yeah, some big matchups coming up this week that we're gonna get into that will determine, who's who a little bit.
Fact.
But I had the same five. I had the Chiefs first, just because they're undefeated, and even though it's ugly sometimes, they just find a way to win.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping them at one. Lions second. Then I had the Bills as well. No, you had Bills. You had the Ravens at three. I had Bills at three. Then I went Steelers four and Ravens at five. Yeah, I like what the Steelers are doing. I think they beating the Commanders, who have looked very good, so that's why I gave them the nod over the Ravens. The Ravens look good, but they gave up a ton of points and a ton of yards to Cincinnati. They got lucky to win that game. So yeah, that's how my five looks. Let's get into the pick'ems, which will, have the rankings looking a little different next week. Very big matchups. First we got the Commanders at the Eagles. We got
Thursday night, I'm going Eagles.
That's a tough one for me. I think I'm gonna go with the Commanders. I think
Okay.
that they got to find a way to bounce back, but I think if it comes down to a possession or two, then the Eagles have the experience. They have the quarterback who's been there and done that. So I would lean towards them, but I'm gonna go Commanders. Ravens at Steelers.
I'm gonna go Steelers at home.
Another tough one. I think the defense. I think it'll be a lower scoring game than most people think. I'm gonna go Ravens. I'm gonna go Ravens on the road. Two road teams. Seahawks at 49ers.
C-Mac back. I'm going Niners.
Another guy I gotta hope has a slow start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Honestly, keep
Niners as
keep
well.
it keep it under 20 for you. Keep it under 20, that's a win.
That's all I can ask.
Once you start getting up into those 29, 30, it's like, all right, man,
Yeah,
come on.
it's a long day. I'm gonna go 49ers as well. We got Chiefs at Bills.
Mm. Bills, is it time? Like it's time. Like,
It's now or
cause
never.
this is gonna just help your psyche. Like, can we beat this team? Because every game is always in Buffalo. I mean, always in Kansas City. They had a chance on the playoffs. They got them on. They got them out. Are they for real? But like Mahomes and them are not. Like that team is just. I don't know how they do it. But that Josh mistake, man. I'm gonna go Chiefs on the road. Chiefs on the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chiefs as well. I think the Bills really do need this because if they win here, all they really need is the Chiefs to lose one more time and they control their own destiny. I think the Chiefs will lose again at some point. So if the Bills win here, they could kind of not lock up, but they have a much better chance at home field, which make a difference in the playoffs. But I don't know. Josh, when it comes to playing the Chiefs, he always finds a way to throw it away. So I'm gonna go with Chiefs. Um, Last but not least, we got Bengals at the Chargers. Interesting one.
Chargers are creeping up on my list too.
Good Chargers
But
team.
like,
Yeah.
can Burrow and them lose again? I'm gonna go Bengals. I just don't see like if they're gonna be good at any point, Bengals gotta start winning. I'm gonna go Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals as well. I think it kind of depends to me if T. Higgins plays. I think that the Chargers defense will play Chase a lot better than the Ravens did. So if no T, I think the Chargers have a chance. But if everybody plays, I'm gonna go Bengals either way, but better shot.
Yeah.
Um, Last week I went 2-3, you went 3-2. So for the season, 33-17 for me, 28-22 for you. Um, yeah, it's been some good games. Anything else you got before we wrap it up?
Rooks, man.
I didn't even get to shout
The
out it. I just said, is there anything else you want to talk about?
the Rooks, man. Nah, I'm good, man. Yeah, trade deadline this week, so I'm hey, whip out a phone, see what guys do.
Yeah,
Once
yeah,
these games start, hey, that's it. So if you want a Eagle or a Commander, you better get that trade in by tomorrow. So
yeah.
we'll see. I think there'll
That's
be
what
two trades around. We'll
that's why I
see.
was asking. My confusion was because usually they'll say like this date at this time. Like that's why the
Yeah,
trade deadline in the old league got so crazy that year because it's like got to this time. That's why I
yeah,
was trying to get
no,
clarity.
yeah, no. So with this one, with this app, because like I can get why. Because I'm like, because I thought about it. I'm like, all right, week 11 is the trade deadline. Like, what time? Like, when are you cutting it off soon as we get to week 11?
Mhm.
After week 11? So basically, once that game is played, like that's it. So you got to trade before their game this week.
That makes sense. But yeah, trade deadline here. Probably a lot of news to talk about next week. Hopefully, I'm not. I could realistically be sitting in last place next time we talk. So we'll see. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
shout
that's
out to
good.
Rooks, like Jay said, this week and every week.
Every week, yeah.
That's another good episode. We will catch y'all next week. Sudden Change Pod.
Yes, sir.